Will the war in Ukraine end in 2025? Donald Trump is confident it will. In fact, he's promised to end it in one day. It's one of his top priorities. He has vowed to broker a deal between Ukraine and Russia.
He should be prepared to make a deal. That's all. Got to be a deal. No, got to be a deal. Too many people being killed. That is a war that's hard. Too many people. Got to make a deal. And Putin has to make a deal too.
He has a point. Too many people are being killed. Putin and Zelensky have to make a deal. The only problem is Putin is not game. He doesn't like the deal that Trump is offering. Says who? Russia's Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov. He has given an interview, and on Putin's behalf, he has rejected Trump's proposals. We are not happy. That's what Lavrov said. But not happy with what? As far as we know, there is no draft on the table. Donald Trump is yet to spell out his plan. He just keeps saying he will get the deal done. But what is that deal? A formal proposal is expected only after Trump takes office. As of now, there are just some ideas that Trump and his team have floated. And one of them is about Ukraine's NATO bid. Trump wants Zelensky to defer it by at least 20 years. Meaning, don't try to seek NATO membership for at least 2 decades. That's one idea. Another idea is deploying European troops in Ukraine. Trump has already discussed this with Macron and Zelensky. This happened last month in Paris when all the 3 leaders were there for the reopening of the Notre Dame Cathedral. So here's what we have. No NATO membership for Ukraine for another 20 years and European troops in Ukraine. That broadly is what's being seen as Trump's proposal. And that is what Russia has rejected. Then what does Putin want? What kind of deal would he like? The kind which keeps the West out of Ukraine.
We need final legal agreements that will fix all the conditions for ensuring the security of the Russian Federation and, of course, the legitimate security interests of our neighbors, but in a context that will secure the impossibility of violating these agreements in an internationally legal manner.
Vladimir Putin himself has talked about legal guarantees. He is ready to negotiate with Trump, but he has 2 conditions. The first one is about Ukraine's territory. Russian forces occupy 20% of Ukraine today. Putin does not want to give this up. That's his first condition. And second, Ukraine's NATO bid. Putin wants Kiev to completely abandon it. Not a 20-year postponement, but completely scrapping the idea of NATO membership. Putin does not want Ukraine being drawn into the Western sphere of influence at all, nor does he want Western troops on Russia's doorstep. These are his 2 conditions. If Trump accepts, then Vladimir Putin may come to the talking table. What about Zelensky? Well, he's in no position to dictate terms, but where does he stand on these issues? In recent weeks, Zelensky has made a shift. He has hinted that he is open to discussing a deal. At the same time, he's been trying to win over Trump to gain some leverage during negotiations.
I think that President Trump is a strong man, and I want very much to have him on our side. For me, it's very important. I want to discuss with him more details about this war. I think it's very important because he was not in this war, because he was not the president. It's understandable. And I want to share with him more details.
The fact is, Ukraine is at the mercy of its Western backers. Without their weapons, it cannot fight Russia. So it will have to go with the deal that it's given. And that brings us to Donald Trump. How far is he prepared to go? Is he ready for Russia's counter demands? So far, Trump's aides have been focused only on Ukraine, on how to get Ukraine to negotiate. That's been their focus. They call it the carrot and stick approach. If Kiev agrees to talks, it gets more assistance from America. If it refuses, military aid could be cut off. That is the approach that Trump's team wants to take. But cutting military aid may not be enough because Putin wants more. He wants hard commitments. He wants long-term security guarantees from both the US and Europe. Now, Trump may be willing to give that, but can he push the Europeans to do the same? As of today, it looks tough. So Donald Trump's plan needs some work. To deliver peace, he will have to build consensus. He made it sound like a cakewalk, but it may turn out to be one of the toughest challenges of his presidency. We do hope he cracks it.